Welcome back into the Awesemo YouTube channel. My name is Geoff Ulrich, bringing you the Jock Market Week 8 NFL breakdown. And if you haven't heard, Jock Market, they've turned fantasy sports into a stock exchange. Forget waiting until the end of the game, guys. Jock Market allows you to buy and sell shares of players for real money in real time with guaranteed payouts for all those shares at the end of the night. With daily markets in NBA, MLB, NHL, and PGA, you can make real money every hour, every minute, every second of any match or game. Use the pregame IPO. You pick up shares of your favorite players, you buy them, you sell or hold them during the game based on your own analysis. And that is the funnest part. Download the app to get started, then use our exclusive Awesemo promo code. That's Awesemo for up to a $50 bonus on your first deposit. This is an exclusive offer only for the Awesemo community, so make sure to take advantage of it today. That's Awesemo for a $50 bonus. But let's get to these Week 8 picks now for the Jock Market IPOs, and I've got 3 of them coming in hot. The first guy I want to talk about is Elijah Mitchell of the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, we saw Mitchell get back into that main carry role for the San Francisco 49ers last week. He was facing a very tough Colts run defense and averaged over 5.8 yards per carry. So a really good indicator there that Mitchell is back to full strength. And for Jock Market, again, you're going to be able to bid on a guy like Mitchell and likely won't have to pay that much of a price in the pregame IPO. Mitchell not coming in with a ton of heat this week or anything like that, but he's looked extremely good in Kyle Shanahan's rushing scheme. He's averaging over 4.8 yards per carry on the season as well. And we don't have to worry about this Trey Sermon news anymore because it's pretty clear that Elijah Mitchell, when he's healthy, is going to be the guy. Played on over 66% of the snaps last week. And that's kind of been the trend when Mitchell is healthy. He is going to be the guy out there. Now, in terms of matchup here, this is better than it looks on paper. The Bears defense really not been that good over their last 2 games. They've actually allowed 5.7 yards per carry against. This is an eroding Bears pass defense going up against a guy in Elijah Mitchell who just gashed one of the best rush defenses in the league in the Colts. I like this play a lot. Elijah Mitchell, again, probably not going to cost you a ton to get up to in the IPOs on Jock Market, but there's some big potential here. As we've seen, when he gets the ball, that 100-yard barrier definitely in play. And also, he's projected out well on Awesemo too, projected for over 80 rushing yards there. So Elijah Mitchell, definitely a solid play to start out with for Week 8. Let's move on to another player, though, who I think is also going to be underrated this week. And I also think you're going to be able to pick him up for very fair prices in the Jock Market IPOs. And it's the player I want to go overweight on. It's Diontae Johnson of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Johnson's coming in, averaging 10 targets a game. He's seen 12 or more targets now in 3 of his last 4 starts. That's the kind of volume we crave for fantasy purposes. But again, people don't want any part of this matchup. Yes, Cleveland has a good defensive front. They get good pressure up front, but let's also remember they're good at stopping the run, and Pittsburgh can't run the ball. Pittsburgh's one of the worst from a rush efficiency standpoint, 3.7 yards per carry. Cleveland only allowing 3.5 yards per carry, which all means what? Pittsburgh's going to have to throw here to move the chains. And who they're going to throw to, it's going to be Diontae Johnson because he is so good at getting open quickly and in small spaces. 5 different receivers have now gone for over 70 yards and a touchdown against Cleveland. So this secondary, it is prone to lapses. And again, Diontae Johnson is going to be the guy getting targets here, in my opinion. I really like him for Jock Market, especially because I don't think that IPO, it's going to be super competitive. You put in some lower bids, even just a little bit over what you think people are going to go. And I think you're going to be able to pick up some cheap shares of Diontae Johnson this week. Last pick for the week, let's go to another player who I think is going to be a little bit underowned, a little bit underrated here in the Jock Market IPOs. I think you're going to be able to pick him up for fair prices. Taylor Heienke, let's go to the quarterback position. Yes, 5 carries or more now in each of his last 4 starts for Taylor Heienke. He's averaged 8 yards per carry in those games where he's taken the ball on the ground. So he's not only rushing the ball more than he was at the start of the season, but he's getting huge chunk yards. He peeled off 95 yards on just 10 rushes last week. And with how bad Washington's defense is playing right now, Heineke's probably going to be dropping back 35 plus times here. He's averaged 39 pass attempts per game in 6 starts. That's great because when he drops back more, we know Heienke is not the greatest passer, but when he drops back more, it means he's going to have more chances to rush the ball. And we should not fear the Denver defense anymore. They've allowed 277 yards average passing and a 9.1 yards per attempt against over their last 4 games. This Denver defense has also been eroding, so I think it's actually a pretty good matchup here. You could even think about going after Heienke with Terry McLaurin, picking up shares of both of them. And then if they go off for that long touchdown, you're going to be in the money most likely in a lot of your Jock Market IPO shares. So I really like Heienke. Again, that rushing upside to me is just too good to pass up at the quarterback position. The matchup is better than it looks like on paper. And hey, you could go after him and his favorite target in Terry McLaurin because the target share for McLaurin from Heienke is so big. So an easy player to double up with as well on Jock Market if that's your fancy. But I do like Heineke's potential here in a better than advertised matchup. So those are my 3 picks, guys, for Jock Market Week 8. Again, we got Elijah Mitchell of the San Francisco 49ers. We got Diontae Johnson of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've got Taylor Heienke of the Washington Football Team. Before you go, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the Awesemo YouTube channel if you haven't already. And most importantly, have a great Week 8. I'm Geoff Ulrich, and we'll talk to you again soon.